Let's talk about the Book of Boba Fett, because this show is a disaster. And I'm hearing the ratings aren't doing very good for this show. And as you can see now, the critics are starting to hit this show, because that tomato meter was at 90% for the longest time, and now it's finally starting to drop. The audience score is dropping as well. It used to be in the high 80s. Now it's at 61%. It was at 62% the other day. So the show is not doing very well. And what's really telling is a lot of legendary writers and people attached to Star Wars are starting to hit the show pretty hard. I want to show you what's going on over here in this Bounding into Comics article. The novelist Steve Perry, who wrote Shadows of the Empire, probably one of my favorite Star Wars books, which, by the way, got erased thanks to Disney. He doesn't really care for the Book of Boba Fett. Says the stupid is strong here, and I have to agree with him. So if you don't know what Shadows of the Empire is, it was pretty much a big Star Wars event without a movie. Lucasfilm wanted to see if they could possibly generate revenue for a Star Wars event that didn't have a movie around it. And for the most part, it actually worked pretty well. They put a soundtrack out, a book, a video game, action figures, all the works. A lot of people played the video game. I don't know if everyone read the book. I did read the book. I also read the comic adaptation, which I think came out from Dark Horse. The same gentleman here, Steve Perry, wrote the comic book as well as the novel. And, it was a good story. It filled in the gap between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. And it did a pretty good job at it. That game, too, especially, was awesome. I remember when that dropped for Nintendo 64s, and awesome time. But he's criticizing the Book of Boba Fett, and he's not being very kind about it. And I have to agree with what he says here. This show is a disaster. It's horrible. It's like, oh, we can just have fast action sometimes and pretty sets, and people will jump in and just watch it. So during the first post, he talks about the third episode and calls it Blabba Fett, which is absolutely true. And what I like is the actor playing Boba Fett even came out and said that he wanted to be mysterious and didn't like that Boba Fett was reading, like he was speaking too much. He had too many lines. He didn't like that. He wanted Boba Fett to be mysterious. And it's funny, he had the right idea. And, everyone's been praising Jon Favreau for the past couple of months and saying Kennedy's out of power and Favreau is taking over. Well, if this is what because he wrote this show, if this is what he's got coming after The Mandalorian, I'm not sure if that's going to be a good thing either, because this show is dog shit. So he's pointing out plot holes here. This isn't his worst one, but I like that he calls it Blabba Fett. He eviscerates it here again, talking about how that Wookiee could just walk in, but he does like the Wookiee's name. He says, it's a pirate-sounding name if I ever saw one. It's seriously a badass name. I'll give them that. Then again, he doesn't really need to be all that good, because we have Boba Fett's security to offset that, don't we? Geez Louise. Do they leave the front door open, the alarms off, and are all of his guards dosed to the eyeballs on Ambien and smoking weed? A 9-foot-tall Wookiee who makes Chewie look like a shrimp, and with no known history of being invisible, just waltzes into the fortress, lumbers down the hall, into the clinic, pulls Fett from the back to tank, and beats the crap out of him, and nobody notices? Somebody needs to call Acme Renegade. Whatever. Fett is paying his team is way too much. I can hear the writer. Nah, probably the director. Director, you know what would be cool? The big gladiator grabs Fett out of the tank and kicks his ass. Somebody with half a brain. How does he get in through the locked door and past the alarms and guards and stuff? Director, don't worry about it. It will be so fast and furious and cool, nobody will care. Somebody with half a brain says, who wants to keep his job? Right, sure, I can see that. The stupid is strong here. Turns out he's not the only one mocking it, by the way. We have a couple of people that were attached to Star Wars mocking it. Simon Williamson here, mocking the way the characters look. And then also a puppeteer for Jabba the Hutt, Toby Philpott. He posted on his Jabba the Hutt account saying practical Jabba remains the best. And he's right. These CGI ones looked awful. I don't know why they didn't just do practical effects, especially when they used them so much in The Mandalorian seasons 1 and 2, because these are awful looking. So, I just find it funny how many people are mocking this. Here's another one. Star Wars artist Jan Duursema says, what's with those Hot Topic kids and the Power Rangers color mopeds? Nobody likes this show. Well, some people do, and it's fine if you like it, but it's just, I just recognize it for what it is. Awful garbage. And I don't see how Star Wars is bouncing back. We'll see if Kenobi shows any good. That's going to be the real test. But so far, this show has been a disaster, and it deserves all of the mocking that it's received because it's awful. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about all this. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out. Also, make sure to follow me over on Twitch. I do watch parties, play video games over there. They're always fun. Follow me over there and come hang out. Also, make sure you subscribe to YellowFlash, my other channel. There's a link to that in the description as well. I do a lot of live streams over there that I don't do on this channel. Usually smaller and a little bit more personal. So make sure you follow me over there and sign up.